Hey everybody, Ryan Chapman here with 9010 Nutrition, and I just got back from a long run. I'm training for the Paris Marathon right now with my wife, and I wanted to show you guys what I do for recovery after workouts. There's this magic formula out there. It's 4-to-1 carbs to protein ratio. So if you have 15 grams of protein, you're going to want to have 60 grams of carbs so that you have 4 times as much carbohydrate as you do protein. And what that does for your body is that it allows you to restore muscle glycogen really quickly. So you deplete muscle glycogen when you work out. This allows you to restore that really quickly. Now normally, if I'm sitting at a desk or something like that, like if you're at work and you're sitting at your desk and you're going to have a snack or you're going to have a meal, I like to get all 3 macronutrients in there. That's carbs, fat, and protein. Those are your 3 macronutrients. Pretty much everything's made up of those. I like to fit all of those into a meal. The fat and the protein help keep the carbs from being absorbed as quickly, so your blood sugar doesn't spike and you stay in fat burning mode longer. When I'm right after a workout like I am right now, like less than 30 minutes since I finished my run, I want the carbs to absorb fast because I want to restore muscle glycogen. I want the sugar, the insulin to spike so that my body goes into burning the carbs that I put into it or storing them in my muscles and using them to repair muscles. So I want that to happen. So I'm going to do 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. You can look out there. There's things like Picky bars. If you look at Picky bars, those are 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio because they're formulated just for that. The P90X results in recovery formula from Beachbody is also formulated just for that, 4-to-1. But what I do is I use Shakeology, and then I add a bunch of fruit or fruit juice to it to get that 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. And I try to not put too much fat in it. You can put a little. I mean, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to be as good for restoring muscle glycogen if you put too much fat in there. Okay. So here's what I've got. I have vanilla Shakeology, one of my favorites. I actually keep it in one of these tubs like this. Okay, so here's my vanilla Shakeology. It's got 16 grams of protein and 14 grams of carbs, so it's almost a 1-to-1. I'm just going to call it 15. Okay, so I've got 15 grams of protein. I've got 15 grams of carbs or so. So I'm 1-to-1 right now. I'm going to put that into the blender. I've got some Florida's natural orange juice. You got to get orange juice from Florida. You know that, right? Right? You got to get orange juice from Florida. I'm from Florida, but anyway, this has 26 grams of carbohydrates in 8 fluid ounces of orange juice. So I'm actually going to put 12 in there because I'm going to call that about 30. So I'm going to say I'm going to get about 40 or so from this. So 40 from here, 15 from there. I'm going to be at 55. I'm really close. I'm going to call that good for a 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. So I need 12 ounces of orange juice right here. I could just put a little bit more orange juice. Maybe I'll put a little bit more. About a cup and 3/4 or so. Throw that into the blender. Scoop of Shakeology. Throw that in. I'm going to go grab some ice right back. Bunch of ice. There we go. That's going to be my shake. I'm not gonna make it up for you because that's just a blender going off, and who needs that? But any way that you can get 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio, you can do it with a tuna sandwich. You could have 100% whole wheat bread and tuna and make it 4-to-1. You could do that. You could do fruit and maybe some nuts. Now nuts have got the fat in it, so maybe not quite as good. Maybe a different protein source would be a little bit better. People are always going to ask me, can I use protein powder? Yeah, you could use protein powder, but you're going to get like 25 or 30 grams of protein, and you're going to have to make that up in the carbs to get the 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio. Protein powder is not always the best way to get recovery after a long workout. Okay, if you're a muscle builder and you're bodybuilding, that's a different thing. But for the average person doing insanity workouts, P90X workouts, long runs, endurance, triathlon, all that kind of stuff, 4-to-1 carb to protein ratio.